It's been a week since a Knight of the Seven Kingdoms promised us a legendary hero, a week since we met Dunk and watched him fumble, struggle, and lose. And with episode 2 dropping tonight, everyone is asking the wrong question. They're asking, when will he get good? But what if that's the trap? Episode 1 isn't lying to us, it's lying to them, to Westeros. Dunk's bad knighthood isn't a bug, it's the entire brilliant point, and tonight's episode only works if we see it. The central dilemma is right there in your click. If this is a show about a legendary knight, why does his introduction feel like a blooper reel? It creates this immediate tension. We're told one thing, shown another. Our instinct is to think, uh-oh, they messed up the character. But what if that cognitive dissonance is exactly what we're supposed to feel? What if we're being primed to question the very definition of the word knight alongside him? Okay, so how do they set that up? How do you visually plant that seed of doubt? It's not a big fight, it's in a quiet moment, like when we see Dunk handling his sword or his gear with a kind of unfamiliar reverence. He's not one with the tools of his supposed trade. The show frames these objects as foreign, heavy, which of course he is. Seriously, someone help the man, but the show lingers on it. The sound design isn't majestic clanks, it's awkward shuffles and grunts. This is our first concrete evidence. The show is choosing to highlight the physical reality of the fraud. It's not glossing over it, it's emphasizing the labor. And then it repeats, the practice sword fight with the peasants. He's not a whirlwind of death. He's a big guy trying not to hurt anyone, and it leaves him open. His caution is his greatest combat liability. He gets disarmed by a squire in seconds, a moment less about skill and more about the humiliating gulf between expectation and reality. Yeah, not your finest hour, Dunk. Even his walk through the camp at the tourney, he doesn't swagger. He navigates, carefully, almost apologetically, as if his very size is an inconvenience to the world. A narrative rule forms. In any situation where traditional knightly prowess is expected, Dunk fails the spectacle. He fails the performance. The pattern tells us this is intentional. The show is building a vocabulary of his failures, but each failure is a specific type. They are failures of presentation, not of heart or strength. He can lift the heavy thing, but he can't make it look easy. He can take a hit, but he can't stop from stumbling. It's the difference between raw material and a finished product, and the show is obsessed with showing us the gritty, unbranded material. And here's the crucial thing. This isn't just a clever directorial choice. To understand why, you have to look at the source. This is the show executing George R.R. Martin's core thesis, the author behind A Song of Ice and Fire and the original Dunk and Egg stories with surgical precision. Think about the worthy knights in his world. The ones history praises are often the most miserable or politically inept. The real heroes, the Brienne of Tarths, the Barristan Selmys in his later years, are the ones the system spits out because they care more about the vow than the vanity. Martin has always written knighthood as a beautiful, broken promise. And what the show is doing here, with Dunk's every fumble, is showing us that brokenness in real time. It's adapting the moral of the stories, not just the plot. So when we see Dunk fail, we're not seeing bad writing, we're seeing the foundational text of the entire universe. So what are they doing? They're deconstructing the brand. In Westeros, Knight is a brand. It's polished steel, flawless heraldry, effortless skill. It's Prince Aemon the Dragon Knight. It's a logo. And Dunk is a living, breathing counter-argument. He's the factory defect that reveals the brand's hypocrisy. The hidden intention is to make the iconography feel like a prison. Every time Dunk struggles with a clasp or misses a parry, the show is prying a rivet out of that polished armor, showing us the hollow, uncomfortable space between the ideal and the human trying to inhabit it. Just a perfect, seamless fit. Absolutely no issues here. The show's intention isn't to make us think he's a bad knight, it's to make us ask, what is a knight actually? Is it the armor or the man inside it? Is it winning fights or trying to do the right thing even when you lose? By making him fail the surface level tests, they force us and him to look for a deeper answer. They're conducting an audit on the entire feudal institution using one man's conscience as the ledger. It's one of those choices you have to see to feel. The way the camera holds on his face after he loses, it's not shame, it's confusion. It's like, is this really all there is? And that's the real story. That look is the thesis statement. It's the moment the character starts to question the script he's been given, and in doing so, invites us to question every other knightly hero we've ever taken at face value. Dunk isn't just clumsy. He's conscientious. Watch his scenes with Egg. He's terrible at ordering him around. He's a natural protector but a terrible boss. He doesn't want a servant. He stumbles into a friend. He's also between us maybe the worst liar in Westeros. Say it with confidence, Dunk. Maybe they'll believe it. The fraud eats him alive. Every awkward moment, every fumble, is because he's carrying the moral weight of the lie. His bad knighthood is the direct result of his good heart. The character reveal is that his failure to perform knighthood is what makes him truly knightly. The show is using his external awkwardness as a mirror for his internal conflict. The tension in his shoulders isn't just from ill-fitting plate, it's from the ethical burden. He's a knight whose greatest battle from minute one is with his own imposter syndrome, not because he lacks skill, but because he possesses an honesty the role wasn't designed to accommodate. This sets up the epic stakes of the entire series. The world is going to test him, not with monsters, but with systems. With knights who are perfect at the performance and terrible at the purpose, the ones who will quote chivalric verse while rigging a tourney, peak chivalry right there. The tourney, the politics, the oaths, they're all designed for the flawless logo of a knight, not for the messy human reality of a dunk. The consequence is that every social interaction becomes a potential trap. A simple conversation about lineage, a toast at a feast, the rules of a melee, these are the minefields he must cross. The consequence is constant, grinding tension. Every time he has to act the part, he risks exposure. And every time he chooses to live the part, to be chivalrous, to protect the weak, he risks that exposure even more. His greatest strength is his greatest vulnerability. That's brilliant drama. It inverts the typical power fantasy. We're not waiting for him to become powerful enough to defeat his enemies. We're waiting for him to become true enough to survive a world that hates truth when it's inconvenient. So here's the unresolved tension. The world defines a knight by his skill with a sword. Dunk defines it by the strength of his word. The show has introduced him by showing us how badly he fits the world's definition, which means his entire journey will be a battle between those two ideas. And right now, the world is winning the press tour. It's writing the headlines, and they all read Clumsy Hedge Knight, while the real story, the quiet seismic shift in what honor means, is happening in the margins, in his every hesitant choice. Now, for those who know the deeper history of Westeros, from the main books or Game of Thrones, the name Sir Duncan the Tall rings a bell. He's a legend. The Lord Commander of the Kingsguard, a giant in every sense of the word, a paragon from the history books. But here's what's truly brilliant about what this show is doing. That legend, the legend of Sir Duncan the Tall, it isn't built on a foundation of the flawless off-screen victories we imagine. It's built on this, on the foundation of awkward, painful, deeply humane choices made by the man we're watching right now, a man who never quite fit the polished armor they gave him. The show isn't starting with the finished statue on the pedestal. It's starting in the workshop with the cracks, the sweat, and the doubt. It's starting in the awkwardness that became the legend. And that perspective shift, it changes everything about what we think a hero's story is supposed to be. I'll be honest, this got me. On my first watch, I was so busy worrying about the adaptation, I almost missed the theme. It took seeing that armor scene a second time. The sheer, quiet loneliness of it. He's not just putting on armor, he's putting on an identity that will never ever fit him comfortably. And he's doing it because it's the only way he knows to try and be a good man in a world that respects the title more than the man. So what's your take? Was Dunk's bad knighthood a frustrating choice, or the show's most brilliant secret? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one. I will be breaking down episode 2 the second it drops, and we'll see how this thesis holds up. Tap the bell so you don't miss that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you very soon for the next one.